Hello YouTube, this is Zach, and today I'm going to be analyzing Aiaia by Otto. I hope I said that right. I've been on the Otto train lately. I'm saving everything that I watch for Otto with Otto for you guys because I have not seen any of this stuff, and I want you all to see my, first response, first reaction to this kind of thing. I've come to figure out up to this point that even though I'm a professional voice teacher and I've worked with hundreds and hundreds of people, I have no idea what Otto is doing most of the time. So what I use these videos for, typically I use my videos to teach. And what I'm going to do is just sort of enjoy the performance and tell you guys what I can kind of figure out about her methods or what she might be doing. It makes it a little difficult that has a silhouette, but I can kind of hear some of the things she's doing. And what I really liked about the other first take performance I did of Usewa was that it was one take and it was unedited and all that kind of thing. So it was really cool to see. So anyway, let's get right into it. I'm excited to see this. This is Aiaia, I guess. I hope I said that right. We have a little choir. I see. The Otto Chorale.
お願いします。
Get the subtitles. Yep, they're going. Okay. Sounds like Mr. Bungle.
I 愛されたいから暴走中されたいからガチガチ無ガチガチガチガチ時間は足りない Give me one more time Kiss me そうもういいわ時間がないこれだけじゃ不満時の通りゲーバーは信じられない落差のダウンフォール
Yeah, okay. It's this is, again, like everything I've seen by her up to this point. This is just all over the place. She's moving in and out of her registers like it's nothing. Like she moves from the chest voice to the head voice like there's nothing to it. It goes back and forth between clean vocals to harsh vocals like there's nothing to it. I did not know that, as I was told in the comments before, I did not know that it's considered rude to compare Japanese people in Japanese culture. It's rude to compare singers to other singers. I did not know that. So I guess I will refrain from doing that out of respect, but what I will say is that this degree of vocal versatility and this amount of control and the ability to utilize so many different elements of so many different techniques that come from so many different places and influences is extremely rare, and I can only think of a few singers on the planet that are this truly diverse and just all over the place. I mean, this song actually makes me think of some of the early Mr. Bungle stuff, and again, I'm not going to compare the singers themselves, but the style of music, makes me think of that quite a bit. Yeah, I feel like when I watch these Otto videos, I'm kind of failing as a voice teacher because I just have so little technical grasp, like to be able to explain a lot of these things. Like when she does some of this stuff where it flips up really quickly, I mean, the amount of control that it requires is ridiculous. I mean, like, I think that there was let's see if I can, like, this line right here in particular, like, right here. Like that's just crazy. I mean, I Otto leaves me at a loss for words more than probably any singer I've ever encountered. One thing that is notable that I can kind of articulate a little bit about this stuff is that the melodies, like in this particular song, these melodies are insanely difficult to sing, and I think that gets overlooked a lot by people when you listen to singers that you really enjoy. I think this happens a lot. And if you aren't a singer yourself, or if you are a singer and you're just listening to people you like, a lot of times, especially in commentary of other singers and things that I've watched other people give, is that they don't think about the difficulty of singing a melody. And when you talk about being able to sing a melody, melodies are what are predominantly heard over the top of the music. That's the thing that your ear mostly latches onto when it's vocal music most of the time. And so when you sing a melody is a series of intervals, and intervals are like, you've got seconds, thirds, fourths, fifths, sixths, sevenths, octaves, and like within one octave, and then it goes up to extensions like ninths, tenths, elevenths, and all that kind of stuff. And then there's flat intervals, sharp intervals, major, minor intervals, diminished intervals, and basically each interval is a representation of the distance from one pitch to another. And in a physical sense, what you have to think about is that whenever you sing, you're creating a pitch. So if I sing an A, I'm singing 220 hertz in my range. But if I'm going to make a jump to another pitch, well, the amount of hertz, or the amount of times the vocal folds vibrate per second, is different based on what that pitch is. So the bigger the interval, or the more unusual the interval, the more adjustments that the voice has to make when you move from pitch to pitch. So when you're doing these crazy melodies like what she's singing, where the voice is just kind of like, if you look out on the sheet music, I'm sure that there's just notes everywhere. I'm sure there's very little rhyme or reason in the tonal sense. Like you wouldn't see, your typical scalar lines and like major thirds and things like that, and like your really traditional melodies. You're going to see all this weird stuff. So just being able to control the voice in the purely melodic sense, to be able to move from pitch to pitch this accurately is just, it's just ridiculous in and of itself, not to mention all the crazy sounds and crazy effects and register changes. Otto she's a beast. What a beast. Real quick, I hope you're enjoying this video, and if you are, please give it a like and subscribe. That will help me so much. Also, I do offer voice instruction. I am a professional singing teacher, and I offer voice instruction through my Discord server, so I highly encourage you to join. That's where my entire community is. That's where all my students are. We do weekly vocal workshops. I do free vocal assessments for all incoming students, and it's just a really good place to be. I also do offer a Patreon if you want to kind of get a little bit more of a bird's eye view on the things I do, get early access to the videos and things like that. But yeah, please join my Discord server. I'd love to see you there. Hope you enjoy the video. Yeah, like an octave. So aggressive. My goodness, I don't even know what I'm doing here. Like, I feel like, honestly, when I watch Otto, I feel like a fraud. Which I typically will advertise my voice instruction services in my videos, and obviously I will do that here. That I'm a voice teacher, and I teach singing, and I'd love to work with you, but like, I come from a classical pedagogy. I come from a classical background, and this stuff just doesn't. This kind of thing just doesn't exist in classical pedagogy. It just doesn't. There is no way that I, as a professional singing teacher with a background in classical study, I can't teach this. There are. What I do teach does move into a lot of different genres, and I've worked with metal singers, and I've worked with classical singers, I've worked with pop singers, I've worked with theater singers, country singers, rap. I've worked with just about everything, and I've worked with metal singers that do kind of this like really extreme, like raspy, growly stuff. I've worked with people to an extent, but I don't coach or teach all these different effects, because from my my level of education at the collegiate level, there is no pedagogy for this kind of thing. There is no teaching method. There is some science that's being developed right now that is kind of helping us to understand these things better. But a lot of this stuff is kind of word of mouth. I've been talking lately to some teachers who do try to teach people this harsh vocal type stuff, like Mark Garrett. I've talked to him recently, and a lot of this stuff just kind of gets passed down, and there really isn't a standardized formalized way to teach all these effects and all these crazy sounds that she makes. And from what I've learned from all of your commentary is that she kind of taught herself, like emulating Vocaloid, and then I guess just decided that she had this talent and this ability to make all these crazy noises and has added that in. I mean, I really, when I watch her, when I listen to her music, I mean, I feel very small as an artist. Her singing knows no bounds. She has no problem just breaking boundaries and doing whatever she feels like fits in the music at any given point. And the composition is so zany and wild that it fits, like the fact that her singing is so zany and all over the place and goes through so many different styles and techniques. It just fits so well. I mean, she's one of a kind, really. Brutal. Crazy. Yep, right through that passaggio. The passaggio is the point where the voice changes from register to register. So she goes from her chest voice to her head voice, flips right through it. No problem. I mean, it's just as fluid as water. I mean, you can hear the speech-like singing sound that just moves up into the higher kind of floatier sound. That's her passaggio, or passing through it. And a lot of people tend to struggle with that. I mean, like, it's a common thing. I struggle with it sometimes. My students struggle with it. It's something that many singers put a seriously large devoted amount of time into working on. I mean, that's why you see so many videos on the internet trying to help people get through their bridge or their passaggio, as they call it. Some people talk about navigating the mixed voice to do it and things like that. And Otto has just unbelievable control over. I mean, just listen to what sounds like that yodel sound. That is her motion up into the next register, and it's just so fluid. I mean, it's just flawless. There, over and over. It's little subtly. Sorry to keep stopping it, but it's little subtleties. Like, sometimes when she moves into her head voice, she has a very clear chord closure on it, which is where you can hear, like, it doesn't sound speech-like because it's in the M2 or the head voice register, but there's more presence on it. You can hear the muscle groups, the TA and the CT are kind of working more in tandem, so or the thyroarytenoid and the cricothyroid are kind of working more in tandem, so it has kind of a balanced sound. But like in this particular example, when she moves into her head voice, it has this breathy kind of airy sound, so she's releasing some of the thyroarytenoid engagement, and the cricothyroid muscles doing more of the work. So like if you listen to these little flip ups that she does, you can hear how they're like a little bit breathier, and so that breathiness is where she's releasing some of the engagement from the thyroarytenoid. And so to do that, I know this is kind of sciencey, but I want to be at least a little bit educational to you guys in this, and not just like gawk at what's going on. So like whenever you're in your chest voice, your thyroarytenoid muscle is helping press the chords together, helping them close. And so when you move into the head voice, up in the higher register, the cricothyroid muscle, which is the joints kind of seated right around here below the top of the larynx, the cricothyroid joint, the cricothyroid muscle kind of engages a little bit more, and it basically causes the chord closure to not be as firm. The folds are still closed, but it's a lighter closure. It's less pressed. And so when you move from really stable thyroarytenoid engagement to this lighter thing, there's like, it's almost like the pressure, the amount of air pressure, the amount of physical muscular pressure that's happening to the changes, just like constantly moving back and forth. I mean, and you have to kind of think of this as athletic. When you talk about singing, it's like the athletic form of vocalization. I mean, if I'm gonna make a fool out of myself doing this, but if I started talking like this all the time, like if I start talking like that, like, it sounds terrible. I'm not targeting pitches, but you can hear how jarring of a change you hear. Now, if I take that same speech method and I try to make the higher part breathy, like this, like I can't I sound like an idiot. I can't even do it, right? It's so hard. Listen to this again, given everything that I've just said, and listen to how it goes from like really firm and stable sounding to breathy like that. It's just ridiculous. I'll do it right here. Wait. Yeah, here. That. And it's so high. To be able to go that high with that kind of breathiness and that cricothyroid, like dominant sound like that, that's just crazy, man. That's crazy. Wow, what an like that was such a sharp rhythmic release. Like that's I'm just listening to this stuff, but like that was something that really caught me when, especially like when you're singing in classical settings or when you're singing in choirs and things like that. A big part of the precision of it is like rhythmically lining up with the music. You know, in a lot of popular music, a lot of contemporary music, it's important, but it's not as like emphasized. But you can hear how she has all the singing going, and it just cuts right when the music cuts. Like the rhythmic precision was impeccable. Listen to the end of this phrase, and it's really hard to do. Like imagine if you're just talking, and you just stop like that, right? Well, when you're singing, you know, if you're singing a line, like just cutting it off like that, and I'm just singing one note, just cutting off like that out of nowhere is extremely difficult. It's difficult to the point to where like some choirs and some ensembles will actually use like a consonant sound like a n or a d or a r or something at the end of a phrase so that everyone has like a consonant to cut off at the same time, because it's so hard to be so rhythmically precise when you do this. Listen to this again. That crazy. Like, her sound is so aggressive. Like there's so much air pressure coming from underneath that. That's what gives it that that kind of like edgy thing that's coming from just an incredible amount of air pressure coming. I don't see how she's able to keep her voice. When I've learned about singing, when I've been taught to sing by my voice teachers, people with PhDs in the subject, and I've talked to voice scientists, and I've worked with hundreds of people. You just don't. It's just like, I don't know. It's just like it breaks all the rules to sing with this much force and pressure. You just don't do that because of the amount of risk you're putting yourself at when you do that. And that's not knocking her, what she's doing at all. I'm just saying, like, for most people to have that much push, to have that much pressure when you sing, it puts a lot of work on the vocal folds. And so, you know, Dr. Hobbins, my voice teacher, always used to say, some people just have vocal folds of steel. You know, and maybe Otto has vocal folds of steel. Maybe she can do these things that just defy biological, physical principles, and she can get away with it. That's amazing. It's great. But like, basically what I'm saying is, don't do this at home, kids. Don't try this at home. I love that bass line. Sick. Wow, man, this is crazy. This is crazy. I'm at a loss for words, to be honest. You know, I don't. There comes a point where I just don't really know what to say anymore. I really don't. This is just awesome. This is just a phenomenal performance. It defies all of the conventions of classical technique and singing. This is just its own world. It's its own thing. And you know, there's no way that I can really take my spheres of musical education and expertise and apply it to this in many ways. It just breaks all the rules. It's just really incredible. But one of the downsides about, you know, making these videos and watching them for the first time and having to comment. It's like people tell me, watch the video all the way through. Well, that I can't really do that, because if I can't justify fair use, then my video can get taken down or my channel can get struck. And basically what happens is like fair use is based upon, do I give commentary? Do I fundamentally change, you know, the core work? And so if I just let it play all the way through, I'm not fundamentally changing the work. So then I get struck or whatever, and I could get my channel taken down. So like I'm stuck in this conundrum because I kind of just want to watch this all the way through, which I'll probably do after this video, but I also want to give commentary. But I'm honestly really enjoying everything I've heard by Otto. I'm really enjoying it. I mean, I'm so tempted just to listen to her discography, but I promised you guys that I would watch it one at a time. So it's like every 2 weeks I get a new Otto song, but I really love her music. This is awesome stuff. I knew that was coming. I knew she was going to do that. I knew it, but it's just crazy to hear. Man, I love it. I love it. You know, it's so cool to be able to talk about these Otto videos because they're just fun. You know, like a lot of times when I do these analysis videos and reaction videos, you know, I'm super in teacher mode, and I'm trying to, the whole time I'm thinking like, all right, I got to figure out some stuff to, you know, to talk about. I got to teach pedagogy. I've got to be educational because that's I'm a teacher. I'm not a reactor in the sense of, and I know that these videos seem contradictory to that, but I'm not a reactor in the sense of you know, oh, this is, everybody's so great. Like, you know, I don't do that. Especially watch my old content, but like, I don't really do that with everybody. I try to be educational. But the Otto videos are fun because I can just like, I know that like, I have no idea what she's doing. I have no idea how she does this stuff. So I can just give some general commentary and listen to it and have fun with it. So it's great. And I'm sorry that these Otto videos are not as in depth as some of my other ones, but like, man, it's just fun and it's just awesome, you know? It's just something that I can just sit back and enjoy. And you know, I've gotten that comment from people like, oh, well, do you ever just enjoy music? Are you always analyzing and thinking? Yeah, I do just enjoy music. Whenever I hear something that is compelling in my ears, like with something that, like, if it's compelling enough and I like it enough, yeah, my analytical brain turns off. And Otto is a great example of that. And maybe that, you know, for whatever my opinions are worth, but like maybe that's a testament to how good of an artist she is. Like she can even take someone that's super analytical like me and just kind of shut my brain off and let me enjoy it. So anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching this, guys. This was awesome. I'm going to go back and listen to this in just a little while and hear it again because I want to hear it all the way through. But yeah, thank you all for your support. Like and subscribe. You know the deal. And I will see you all again in the next Otto video. Take care. Bye.